When it looked like the sun ain't gonna shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the clouds. This was a favorite song of the late great Dr. Maya Angelou, who left us with many treasures in the form of her literary achievements and also many life truths and quotes to live by. My favorite being, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Hi, my name is Timothy Douglas. I'm a distinguished artist in residence at Emerson College and the director of this production of The Resistible Rise of Arturo by Bertolt Brecht. This play is set in the 1930s in Chicago in the gangster environment, traditional gangster of the 1930s, Depression era, Tommy guns, played by James Cagney and Edward G. Robinson and the like in the movies of the period. And what Brecht does is set his tale in the cauliflower vegetable trade and the unexpected high stakes that exists within that world in the Depression era. But Brecht very nakedly uses this setting and this tale to parallel what's going on in Europe and specifically in Germany with the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Third Reich. He's very naked about how he does this. In addition, in the spirit of history teaching us that history tends to repeat itself, that he also borrows liberally from and parallels William Shakespeare's version of the tragedy of Richard III. These are power-hungry individuals who will sacrifice any and all to achieve and retain this said power. And without the need to go into much detail of how this very much is paralleling what we're living in real time here in America, that the potential for this play, this tale, these historical records, both literature and actual history, it's a moment where we can use them as teachers, we can use them as guides on how to do the right thing. I use that term purposely, and it's something that I've said to the cast often, that everyone, no matter who they are, including Adolf Hitler, believed or believes that they are doing the right thing. No matter how atrocious it may be, that individual in the act of whatever it is they're doing believes they're doing the right thing. I emphasize that not to excuse horrible wrongdoings, not at all. But specifically as actors, one of our main goals is to be able to get inside of any character. And it's very important that we don't judge the characters that we're playing. And historical figures like Adolf Hitler and the clear parallels to the character of Arturo, the challenge becomes exponential in terms of being able to get inside of that character and get behind the impulse that feels like we're doing the right thing. But that is the task. And we have an extraordinary group of emerging actors in our program here at Emerson performing this play, who is a brilliant demonstration of both the challenge of getting inside difficult characters and the achieving of such things. Surprisingly, without undermining the import and the impact of the events of the play and their parallels in history, the seemingly impossible is being achieved, that we're actually sympathetic to these characters. The reason this is important in terms of theater and storytelling is that it will be undeniable for all who view this production and this performance just how intensely the world in which we currently live is being spoken to and spoken at and spoken through. And for that reason, we need to be able to connect to these characters to be able to hear and maybe even learn from the inherent lessons attempting to be taught. Brecht's intention with writing this play is in line with the spirit of modern-day Germany overall, in response to World War II and the Jewish Holocaust. Never again. Never again. This is Brecht, through his craft, doing his part to keep this atrocious part of history in our memory so that it hopefully calls upon our better angels so that we will not engage in such atrocious behavior ever again. Will we succeed? Are we succeeding now? I don't know, but my point is, it is important for the audience to be able to align, and if not like, that's not the goal, but at least be able to understand the motivation of the characters telling this tale, in particular the ones that we would like to judge and like to dismiss. So that was the overall goal for this director, to make sure that the space inside this very challenging tale is open enough that the audience can find themselves in it. So that's a little bit about the approach. I happen to be a devotee of William Shakespeare's Richard III. There are some, my generation and others, who believe that the movie The Godfather has in it all the life lessons, parables, and analogies that you could ever want to learn from. Others, many others, believe that that is the Bible or the Quran or other spiritual and religious texts that rely on allegory to teach its message. But back to The Godfather, others in popular culture believes that The Godfather contains all of that. For me, it's Richard III. I am able to reference this play with every single production I direct, no matter what the subject matter, no matter what the era. And for me, the most profound part or quotes from Richard III align themselves with offering clarity and reasons why we should and must, and what is beneficial about subjecting ourselves to such challenging stories where such atrocious things go on. And it's in Act 4 of Richard III, between the Duchess, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Anne, and Queen Margaret. And the exchange goes, why should calamity be so full of words? And the response is, let them have scope, though what they impart help nothing, yet do they ease the heart. And that, my friends, is the reason why we keep coming back to the theater or rereading favorite books of ours, particularly the ones that have challenging life lessons inherent in them. There's something in us that needs to get it better or get it right the next time, because unfortunately, history continues to teach us that we seem to go right back to the same playing out of the subject or the task at hand. I think that's enough director note rambling for now. Again, I'm Timothy Douglas, and I do hope you'll attend, and more important, if not enjoy, find the experience of viewing our production of The Resistible Rise of Arturo by Bertolt Brecht rewarding, engaging, thought-provoking, and maybe even will spur you to take some action guided by your better angels. Peace and blessings.